That's the problem. Everybody digital. Analog is over with. You know, if you think about it, when the last time you walked in the office and truly actually took a glimpse around the office you walked in, a business office, whatever scenario of business you patronize, have you seen a fucking file cabinet or a Rolodex on the desk with the little flip thing with the papers on it with phone numbers and people's names? The Rolodex. When the last time you seen a file cabinet? The motherfucker, the file cabinet, the nigga that make file cabinets is out of business now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's slow because only certain entities need you. Only certain institutions or entities need that file cabinet. Everybody don't have to be analog, but the criminal industry, the law enforcement industry, and the medical industry, as well as educational institutions. Most of the time, they patronize analog documents that have to be scripted and established by humans, not by some electronic apparatus. You wrote this, you put ink to paper. You feel what I'm saying? And you establish this document. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So that's what have value. All this digital shit. Yeah, when them satellites fall out the goddamn orbit and all of our power sources evacuate us, nigga, we gonna be what they always been saying, and back in the dark ages. You know, we gonna be in last place, getting too goddamn comfortable. That's why I was saying when the power was out and that little hurricane storm Burrow come through here, little Burrow come snatch some trees and drop water everywhere, my nigga, knock the power out of whack. Nigga better get used to living like that. That is a reality. What we've been exploiting and taking advantage of as modern day humans, shit, we've been having too many expectations for that comfort. And that comfort is an absolute blessing, and it comes from exploitation also. It comes from suffering folks to create those different industries. You get what I'm saying? You know, or it's just like a nigga made the cotton gin. He didn't get the credit for it because they ain't let niggas have patents. But I can't remember the gentleman's name that made the cotton gin. He made the cotton gin to reduce the labor pressure that was put on him and his people. So oppression is what stimulates creation. And this country recognized that out of they practice with exploiting the nigga. So with that being a matter of fact, they do it to everybody. They do it to everybody. So anybody and everybody, they put some pressure on your ass, because pressure makes diamonds. You get what I'm saying? You get the best out of motherfucker. You be hard on them. You get me? You easy on the motherfucker, and they learned that from looking at their own kids. When you easy on the motherfucker, they sorry. They learned that from their own children. That would be able to shut their bedroom door in the house. Niggas wasn't able to shut bedroom doors in their house. Y'all better not shut that goddamn door. I want to know what you children doing. That's a cultural practice. That's a custom of ours. Them folk was able to shut their own bedroom door. They had to knock on their door. Timmy, what? Timmy, what are you doing? What is that odor? What is that smell? Don't worry about it. Get the fuck away from my door.
Nigga ass with a door that came out.
And to go to work and be hard on a nigga as a judge or a DA. But that boy didn't just handle you.
Yeah, that boy did.
Hey, that's where we at, huh? That's where we at.
Boy that slammed the door on you.
Hey, man. That shit is a reality. That is where we at, man. I was looking at some shit. They were talking about COINTELPRO, how the feds act, how they set up shit and put shit in place to hate on niggas. Man, they brought military motherfuckers to come and make sure that the nigga didn't what they call it, boycott or protest about employment and different labor unions that was trying to rob the nigga of opportunities for making money and getting jobs in Memphis. When Martin Luther King went down there to address the protesters that were, the class of Negroes that was making grievance about how many of the institutions down there, commercial institutions and different industries for as working, was howling off and, scuttling the opportunity for getting jobs and shit and sharing it with their favorites and their people and friends and doing that type of shit and keeping the nigga unemployed and begging and doing jobs that's called subservient positions. You know what I'm saying? Nigga being a midwife. A nigga, my wife, she gotta go clean Miss Millie house every day. I gotta go and be the nigga that's the yard man or the nigga that's the laborer. You get what I'm saying? And those only amass menial wages, and people wanted to advance and do better and get other jobs. So they went to these different labor unions that tried to get on, and they had, get out of here, nigga, get out of here. They'll hit you across your head with a rock or a brick, nigga, break your motherfucking skull, nigga, get out of here. Say, man, so Martin come down there trying to amass a peaceful and give some kind of contrast to what a peaceful protest should look like. And the niggas in Memphis like, hey, bro, we don't really need you down here. Like, we appreciate it, but like, we don't really need you, my nigga. If we got to catch wreck, we just gonna catch wreck. You feel me? Now, this ain't new. This ain't new. This is almost like either a 6th or 19th or 20th wave of this same type of scenario. Because in 1919, the same thing happened in Bogalusa. I'm speaking about some shit that Martin was dealing with in 1968.
Yeah.
In 1919, it was a moment called Red Summer in Bogalusa, Louisiana.
It just wasn't in Louisiana. It happened all over the fucking
I'm
world.
just telling you.
No,
I'm telling you.
Red
I got you. It was a term used to identify
yeah.
those type of disputes.
They was
I get it.
a bunch of niggas
For niggas trying to make sure they get a piece of the American pie.
They didn't want that.
You can't have it. I hit you in your goddamn head with this brick. You better get away from here trying to fill out an application. Well, damn, I'm just trying to get an honest day's living. Man, nigga, get away from here. Don't say nothing else. Want to hear your testimony, nigga. Fuck you and your child. You feel me? So this ain't nothing new, my nigga. And it go on today. The oppressors just found a way to be a little bit more classier with how they oppress you.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. Let's do them this way. He's still, but we ain't gonna look bad. We could pop our collars still. Back then, only the humility is what caused a lot of people to be like, hey, I don't think I'm on the right side. Oh no. When you can't humiliate evil, evil take over. If you can't humiliate it and make it look at itself. If you don't make evil look at itself, nigga, it'll devour you. So you got to put the mirror up to that shit. And that's what was happening all over the nation. Like you mentioned about Red Summer. Red Summer is a term that was used in many different moments of protests and maybe even riots. You get what I'm saying?
A lot of killing that year, 19.
Protests, riots, the niggas come up dead. It's always been spoken that if you want freedom, you got to be willing to shed blood. You can't always be civilized. They used the Bible, they used the whip, they used the hanging rope, they used the tar and feather. This country, this nation, this government, this criminal empire we live within, was erected off of torturing the nigga into not having his own free will, but being submissive to the dictatorship and the directives of a terrorist. So they were great terrorists. They are skilled terrorists. They even have a document. It's called the Willie Lynch. That is a study document to establish a skilled terrorist. They say that he was a West Indian slave owner down in the Caribbean that made these doctrines about how you pit the young against the old, pit the woman against the man, turn us against each other, and we start headbutting each other and hating each other. The Willie Lynch letters, Willie Lynch letters. But however, that was a document amassed to train up a host of terrorists that were establishing a nation, a country that was abroad from their motherland, Europe, that is a monarch. They have a king over there that they ran from. They ran from that monarch. That monarch was the one that was like, get out of my face, where's my tax money? And you pay him your tax money, and he like, there, here you go. And you, this ain't enough to feed me and my wife. Get out of here, you've had your fair share of gruel. Kick you in your ass and run you off. You feel me? They ran from that. Came over here to a place that was beautiful. Harmony. The people were observed as primitive. Simply because y'all over there living how y'all living. How we primitive? We not primitive. We advanced. We got aquaponic systems out here. We got hydroponic systems growing shit. We living in an agrarian system. We know agriculture. We know you can't grow this plant right here too many times because it's going to rob the soil of its nutrients. They ain't know none of this shit. So they'll kill you for a potato over in Europe. Back way before them folk came over and found this land. They came over and found this land and they ran away from their own masters. And established a criminal empire. But I think it was whoever they called the father of this nation. I don't even remember his name. One of the presidents from way back. He put it in law that, hey, absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's why our presidents don't get to sit for more than 4 years before they come up for re-election.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And when we made our, when we indicated that we were an independent nation, we had to go and find alliance with a different nation that would acknowledge us in an international capacity and on the world stage. Like, yeah, they're independent nation. North America, the United States of America. The first nation to recognize us was Morocco. You feel me? Morocco, the Sultan, the king of Morocco, Islamic king, a Sultan, Muslim. He, Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, they signed the document, the peace and treaty. The treaty. They signed a treaty called the Peace and Friendship document. And what they did was provided for other nations to recognize that, hey, there are other international communities with a military that recognizes that country as a nation, and they will back them and their sovereignty. Their sovereignty. Nowadays in America, if you say that you're sovereign, you end up getting treated like a fucking terrorist. That's how they treat the Moors. The niggas they screaming they Moors. Oh, that's the sovereignty. That's that sovereignty shit. They cast it away. But that's a patriot's mindset. And that's what won this country. With Crispus Attucks, when we were fighting for our independence. Because Britain tried to come and get us. And France was like, hey, nigga, no. I don't want somebody. Britain was like, I don't know. And we were squabbling like a motherfucker. Crispus Attucks, the one came and hollered and let it be known amongst a certain battle that, hey, I think he was screaming, the redcoats are coming, the redcoats are coming. And it's a famous chant or shout out that he made to alert the military and the countrymen that these folks are coming and encroaching up on our territory. He came from he was a scout. He was scouting. He saw them encroaching upon a certain territory that if it had been sacked, they might have had their way with us. And we might be a British colony like Jamaica, like the West Indies, like many of them Caribbean islands. Those are British. They call it the British Isles. The French went and kicked Louisiana and ran the natives off and took that. The French did that. The Spanish was over in Florida punching on the Seminoles and trying to whoop them and get them out of there. And the Seminoles natives were squabbling, backed up to South America and down to Mesoamerica, and also went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You feel me? So this country has a hell of a history, but even when we live today, we think things is supposed to be on a balanced scale. Ain't shit supposed to be on a balanced scale in a criminal empire. I remember